North London derby. A North London derby, and we can play like that in the first half, man. I ain't even doing no yo people or whatever, man. You don't know what happened today. You know what happened today. Yeah, the better team won. We had chances. Ramsdale, I hate his guts. Hate him even more after today. He was excellent for some of the chances we had, but Arsenal were the better side, man. The better side. I'm not going to make this one a long one, and I actually promise. I think I'm aiming to be out of here by like 35, 40 minutes because I can't stand talking about this team today, man. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So angry. Like there's a multitude of things that this team does to sort of stress me. And today, I ain't going to talk about the board. I've been talking about the board all month so far, right? I'm not going to talk about off the field matters. I'm not going to talk about past behaviors. I'm only going to talk about the 90 minutes, right? Because no matter what, both managers had both sets of players that they picked and they deployed those players in one method or another to try and get the best possible outcome today. So I'm only going to talk about the match. And I'm tired. I'm running out of patience, and I'm tired of seeing Conte act a fool with these lineups. Like, I'm tired of it, honestly. And right now, he stinks. He absolutely stinks. Absolutely stinks. And I just don't understand why he's so stubborn, why he's so inflexible, why. We did a preview on the new Spurs order pod, right? And one of the things we discussed was talking about how we actually need to respect the opposition. And for me, respecting the opposition means that even though you have a preferred game plan, you might need to tweak your game plan for that opposition because they are specifically good at certain things that you've not catered for. In the reverse fixture, the one we lost 2-1 at their ground, our midfield couldn't get near theirs for the majority of the game. It was 4v2. And we head into this game and we see the same thing. I won't even lambast the man for going with what's tried and tested for him over the course of his career, but you have to have your wits about you. Like, you have to realize that, like, yo, this didn't work for me last time. Maybe I should take time and do something a little bit different. And even if you haven't changed in the starting lineup, you had eyes. The same set of eyes that we had, that we watched the entire first half with. How can you see the way that first half was going and not make any changes in that half, not make any changes to the midfield at halftime, and then not make any changes in the midfield up until, let me even check my phone, up until, one sec, let me just check my phone, up until minute 76. Minute 76 was the only change we saw in the midfield. And that was for probably the better of the two. In fact, easily the better of the two performers of our midfielders today. But anyway, thank you lot for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in for the stream. I'm sure so many of you lot are here for my pain. Is what is the game is the game. I'm going to get cooked in the Big Six tomorrow. I've been cooked already on Twitter today. I'm getting cooked on WhatsApps. I'm getting cooked on Instagram. I'm getting cooked on Snapchat. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's a worldwide cooking for me. There's literally no escape. But this is what happens. It's a North London derby. You play to compete. If you don't win, you got to hold that. You've got to hold that. And today, Antonio Conte, he has to hold that. And this is not the first time. This is not the second time. This is not the third time. I have to say this season. I'm tired of Conte coaching us poorly against these sides that we're meant to be competing with. I'm tired of it. I'm absolutely tired of it. Arteta, for me, is not as good a coach as Conte, and yet he has coached his team infinitely better this season in comparison to Conte. And this is twice now. He's shown Conte up. Twice. That first half was an absolute joke. We did all right the first 10 minutes. Decent start. Decent start to the game. First 10, 15 minutes. And then Lloris does his usual bozo nonsense. And then once they started actually putting their foot on the ball, it was night and day between those two sides. Night and day between the two sides. And that's what makes me angry the most. This is a team that we were competing with back in May. This is a team that we were competing with back in May, that we beat 3-0 to pick them to 4th. And the progress that they've made versus the progress we've made is crazy. Like, Arsenal are flying, but even forget how good Arsenal are. We are so bad when it comes to these type of fixtures now. We're so bad. We're not even, we don't even get competitive until the game's done. And that's what pisses me off. But before I actually get into specifics, people, make sure you smash a like for those who are joining. Whether you want to hurl insults or say positive things, say negative things about the game, just keep sending those comments in. I'm going to read the super chats first, and then I'm going to read some of the other comments that have been sent by people. But yeah, just smash the like button and make sure you keep your post notifications turned on. So let me actually go through some of those super chats. Tobs, Ten Hag has Aaron Wan-Bissaka and McTominay looking good. I don't think he has McTominay looking good. McTominay stinks. Wan-Bissaka, fair enough. And our man turned Son into a worse Timo Werner. What is the point of him? I don't think Conte is the sole reason why Son is the way he is. But I'll talk on Son. It doesn't help when Conte is actively trying to build up play through Son. But I can't put Son's form down to Conte. But yes, I do agree. Managers who are supposedly inferior are getting more out of their squads than Conte this season, and I'm tired of it now. I'm losing my patience. Another game, Son has lasted a full 90 and did nothing. Shake my head. Facts. But we'll speak on that, brother, soon, man. Knowing Conte this season versus the Big Six, are you worried for Thursday? Arsenal fan here. No idea why you guys still have Sesson and Emerson Royale. Of course I'm worried. I thought we could conjure a little something today because, you know, the performances have been so bad against all the other Big Six sides we played, apart from probably Liverpool in the second half. And we still lost that game. I thought, come on, there's got to be a reaction today. Kulusevski's back fit. I was hoping Bentancur start, but he didn't start. Is what it is. But you've got to put up more of a fight. And granted, we did create chances, but you can't let the game get away from you the way we did in the first half and then think, oh yeah, you rally up the troops and you throw everything at them in the second half and they're just going to fold. This ain't Bournemouth. It's not Bournemouth. It's not Leeds, right? It's not Mickey Mouse teams. They're top of the league for a reason. They've got the second best defensive record in the league. You're going to have to do a lot more than the huffing and puffing in the second half to get a result, man. And it pains me to say it, but they're just way better than Spurs. Way better than Spurs. That's why, for me, my tweet today, the better team won. They're the better team on all aspects. They're better coached right now. They play better football. Yeah. They're scoring more goals than us, despite not having a Kane, despite not having Son, who's been dog shit this season. Right? The defense, let's not even speak on the defense. The defense in comparison is night and day. And the midfield is night and day. Especially with no Bentancur on the side. But I'm not even going to use that to say, oh yeah, that's why they should have won today. That's why they should have won today. This is a team we saw last year with a worse squad compete with Liverpool. This is a team that we saw with a worse squad last year beat Arsenal. A team that we saw last year beat Man City, right? We even went to Old Trafford last year with a worse squad. Oh, okay, we lost to Ronaldo hat-trick, but the performance was better. This season, the performances are actually diabolical for the most part. And I'm looking at the manager and I'm thinking, bro, come on, change something. And all I'm seeing is minor changes within the same tactic that's not working. It's not good enough, man. We already know what the issues are with the ownership, but I'm not speaking about them today because football is won and lost on the pitch. It's all about how a manager sets up his team, and it's all about how those players take on the manager's instructions. And granted, we have one too many bozos in our team right now, and reliable players like Son, like Romero, like Lloris, who stunk out the joint today, like Højbjerg. But fundamentally, as a manager, it is literally suicide to set us up the way he did today against this Arsenal side. It's suicide. Complete suicide. It's suicide. And honestly, I'm just thinking to myself, like, what happens now? Are we going to beat Man City? I don't know. We've been worse than we've beaten Man City, but so what? So what? Let me go through some more comments before I read out some more super chats. Let's see. Yo says Arteta the novice is handing out lessons. Facts, big facts. Schooled Conte twice, and beyond. What's mad is it's crazy. Arteta's team, they're top of the league. They're the ones flying. But he comes to our ground and he makes a game plan for us, whilst being able to allow Arsenal to play play to their best abilities. Right? He put pressure on our back line. Right? He didn't let our midfield breathe with the ball. He committed more men forward to his press and left his defenders 1v1 with Kane or whatever. And they squeezed us in the first half. We were chasing shadows for the majority of that first half. And he's come to our ground and he's done that. Why? Because he had a game plan and his players executed that game plan well. Better yet, he had a game plan that wasn't so naive. It's just poor, man. Let me just read out some more comments as well. Don Conte has won 2 out of 30. It's terrible. It's terrible reading. World-class coach, 15 million a year. He is a world-class coach. He is, but he's not coaching like it this season. I'll be real. He's not coaching like it this season. Let's even break down his performance as well as a coach today, right? So you've seen your team get bopped, literally categorically bopped off the park in the first half, right? 2-0 down. And yet at halftime, I see the same shape. Okay, granted, Arsenal are 2-0 up, so they're defending their lead. So they're happy to retreat a couple more yards further back, and let us have the ball. And they can just pick us off on the break. They don't need to put their foot on the ball like they did in the first half. But again, we're having to chase a game with the same formation that didn't work in the first half when the game's already done. If you had just tweaked your preferred tactic to suit the opposition, maybe you wouldn't have been 2-0 down in the first half. And then when we look at the substitutions, again, it's like this guy is totally incapable of just flexing. The one game this season where he's actually switched shape, as far as I remember in the Premier League, was Chelsea. And granted, Romero probably should have been sent off and Chelsea were the better side, but you got a draw. And you changing shape, tweaking your tactic, paid dividends. We went 4 at the back temporarily and we put 2 up top. It paid dividends. But he's so wedded to the 3-4-3 that he don't want to change anything. Today, Basuma coming on for Sarr, who I thought was all right, but Højbjerg stays. Højbjerg, who's been so bad since the Premier League has returned, this guy has been pants. And you man know how much I like Højbjerg as a personality, but when this team is fully fit, playing to its best, Højbjerg is not a starter for me. I have no qualms with Conte picking him to start when he's playing well, but when he's not playing well, you drop him. You drop him. And I understand that a manager is always going to have his favorites. So some players are going to have to basically do more than others to either start or get dropped, right? But when a guy is consistently playing so bad, and he was so bad today again, how does he stay on the pitch? How does Son last an entire 90 minutes? How? You've got a 60 million pound guy who's just come back from injury, who plays in Son's position, rather than taking off Son, who didn't add anything with before and after Richarlison came on the pitch. You leave him on just to play your same tactic, and we end up with a 3-4-1-2. We're chasing the game 2-0 down, and I'm seeing Ben Davies come on in like the 83rd or 84th minute. Again, I'm tired of seeing centre-backs come on the pitch. It didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense to me at all. And he rightly lost the game. We can talk about Ramsdale's great saves. Yeah, they were fantastic. Fantastic saves. And yeah, if he doesn't make those saves, we might be having a different discussion. But fundamentally, we watched that game of football. Even if Spurs had drawn today, even if we had won today, I would still talk about the performance. If we played the same way we did in the first half, I would still talk about it, because it's not good enough. It's not good enough at all. It really isn't, man. It really isn't. I'm like, I remember, so he brought on Richarlison, right? This guy would rather play Kulusevski right wing back than switch to a back four and just play Kulu right wing, Son left wing, Kane behind Richarlison, or play a 4-4-2 with Kane the deeper of the two, if you really wanted to keep all four on the pitch. The North Pole would rather melt than Conte switch to a back four. I don't understand it, man. I don't get Conte sometimes. I haven't got Conte a lot this season. I don't, because I don't understand how you can do the things he's done. It was a joke, the midfield. It was a joke. As poor as Højbjerg was, chasing shadows and shit, yeah. Like, I almost feel sorry for these guys. I said the same thing in the 3-1 defeat. I said the same thing in the 2-2 draw at Chelsea. I feel sorry for these men sometimes, because it's 2 against 4. Of course, Højbjerg has to do better when he has the ball, because he was just so bad today in possession and out of possession. But you're giving these guys a mammoth task. Yeah, Thomas Partey is one of the best passers on the planet. Zinchenko was outstanding today. Outstanding. Every single time he got the ball, he was killing us. Yeah. Xhaka did his thing today as well, played well, and Odegaard just danced around our midfield in the first half. You have basically 2 men trying to deal with 4 players, and it's not just 4 normal players. It's 4 players who are highly competent on the ball. And I'm even being kind, or I'm playing it down. You have 2 who are excellent on the ball. You have, they're a highly technical midfield. They will move this ball with ease. Thomas Partey didn't even play that well in the first half, and yet his pass led to their goal. Just can pick out a pass with ease, and then obviously he upped the levels in the second half. But how can this be your game plan? Let me read those names against you: Odegaard, Partey, Xhaka, Zinchenko. Zinchenko was immense, by the way, immense. Yeah, I think him and Odegaard would probably be one of the 2 would be my man of the match for Arsenal, alongside Ramsdale, obviously. But yeah, the same thing that killed us in the game at the Emirates. You didn't learn your lesson. You didn't want to put an extra body in the midfield to deal with that. No. You didn't want to try and get Kulu to tuck infield to deal with that. No. I think it's arrogance, man. It's stupidity and arrogance. It's arrogance to think that your default tactic, because it's worked in the past, plug and play for every opposition. Especially when you've seen that it's not worked as well as you would have wanted it to this season. Change things. I'm seeing Brian Hill. Let me even check these subs. I'm seeing Brian Hill come on in the 88th minute to play right wing back. This guy's a right winger. He had his best game in a Spurs shirt playing right wing, and now you're sticking him right wing back. It's poor, man. It's so poor from Conte. It's so poor from Conte, man. It really is so poor. Like it's a shambles, man. It's an absolute shambles for a man that gets a lot of. He's had a lot of support from our fan base. He still has my support. I don't want him sacked. I don't want him to leave. I just want him to do better in his job. I literally want him to do better in his job. One of his USPs for why I really liked him is because he was getting something out of not so great players last season. If you compare last season to this season, well, worse. If anything, his tactics are debilitating some of our better players. His tactics are putting even worse players in positions that they're not comfortable with. And your stubbornness to change is costing us points. It's embarrassing, man. It's absolutely embarrassing, bro. Why am I speaking like this about Conte? There are so many things that aren't right at our club. Why? Why should I be speaking about this about our manager? You're meant to be one of the few things that give us respite. And this season, he's added to our problems. He's not giving us solutions. He's giving us problems. It ain't on, man. It's not on. So I just wanted to say that on Conte, man. Like, I don't know what the resolution is. I don't know what's going to happen in this window. But as I said, I'm not talking about the board today. I'm only talking about the performance. Now, I've said what I've said on Conte, right? Now let's talk on some of these players. But before I do, let me go through some chats. Yeah. Let me go through some chats. There's super chats. There's so many people in the chat. Flipping hell. There's over 1,000 of you lot in here. Mad. People really love pain, innit? People really love fucking pain. That's nuts, man. So many people. I must be doing my job well. I must be doing my job well. I must be doing a great job. If there's over 1,000 of you lot that have tuned in just to dump on me, bruv, I'm doing my job well. I need to hate harder then. And for what it's worth, I hope you lot crash and burn in the second half of the campaign. But unfortunately, I don't see that happening. Let me just go through some chats. Finn says, I'll be real. I don't see the point with Conte. Even if he gets his players, his passive approach will never compete for the league. Wow. Disgusting performance, especially first half. Conte out. Come on. Conte out, really? I understand the frustration, but I don't think sacking him is the solution personally. Chat to me about Ramsdale, though. Listen, Ramsdale, I can't lie. I hate the guy. I hate his guts. But today he was fantastic, man. He was fantastic. Southwest Gunner says, Romero thought he was fighting for the Falkland today. Listen, I'll talk on Romero. God, today, like, I'm actually deep in the performance now. Like, in the first half, like, there were times where Thomas Partey misplaced like 1 or 2 passes. And such was the disparity in terms of such was the numerical disadvantage that we couldn't even capitalize. Arsenal's Partey had so much space. Odegaard had so much space. Zinchenko had so much space. We were always one step behind. Chasing shadows. Chasing shadows completely. Completely. Let's see. Okay. Let me go through some super chats. So big up that boy random. He says Conte has a 15% win rate against big 6 teams. Shocking. Agreed. Jerisic says, love you, my guy, and you're my favorite Spurs fan, but you got to well and truly hold that Arteta scored Conte twice. Agreed. I'm holding it. Tony Stark says, forget the side we're meant to be competing with. We barely beat Pompey. We just huff and puff in possession. Agreed. Granted, today we did create a couple of chances, but yeah, I just don't think we're that good aside with the ball at our feet these days. Ash I says, Saka was too much. Romero is a passion merchant. Saka did his thing today. Romero was shocking. Absolutely shocking. Terrible performance. Needs to get his head out of the clouds, man. We're back in the Premier League now and just moving mad. All he was doing just running around kicking people today. Terrible, terrible performance. Forrest says, hi, Tobs. Hope you're good and God be on your side on the big six, boy. I know that bitch Scarfuggery is probably cooking up something for me now, man. Nomad says, Ten Hag learned from getting beat 6-3, new tactic. Usman says, I want to hear you say Ben White's better than Romero. Mate, I can't lie. On current form this season, Romero can't chat to any of Arsenal's defenders. He can't. But I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because I know what he's capable of at his best. But listen, I think maybe Romero isn't the top centre back, but he's still quality. Just an absolute bozo today. Absolute bozo. Tony Stark says, say we had Gvardiol, Hakimi, any goalkeeper and left wing back you want today. How much even changes with that tactic today? Yeah, even if we had better players today, I think ultimately, if your manager sets you up in a way that plays into the opposition's hands, he's already shot you in the foot. So today's not about signings. Today's purely about players doing dumb things and the manager setting us up in the worst way possible. John Abraham says, Tobes, thoughts on Pape Mate Sarr today? I thought he was all right. I thought, unfortunately for him, he was chasing a lost cause in terms of trying to keep a lid of that Arsenal midfield because the numerical advantage was too much. But I thought he was all right. He was certainly better than Højbjerg. I'll tell you that for free. Way better than Højbjerg today. Højbjerg was awful. Bro, Conte is not going to change. You have to get him players that will work in his system. Spurs will have to back in this window or get rid. End of. Mate. Yeah. I don't know, man. He's going to go this summer anyway, so he's leaving anyway. It is what it is. It is what it is. KG, big up KG. I know we've been speaking on IG. I know you said you wanted Spurs to win, but I can't help but think you're taking a lot of pleasure out of this. Romero is a head loss bozo. Every game he is good for a yellow card. Way too rash. He's an absolute bozo. I love players that play on the edge and they're ultra and they're aggressive, but Romero is a bozo. I rate him. I rate him a lot, but he is a bozo. He's got the bozo gene in him. He just does dumb things. Many top defenders in the past have done it, or many good or quality defenders, they have the bozo gene in them. But Romero, he's a bozo. And today he was a nightmare against the best side in the league. You're meant to give a good account of yourself, especially after the strong end to the World Cup that he had. But even in there for Argentina, he just does some crazy things sometimes. There's a difference between playing on the edge and just being an outright buffoon. And today, he should have been sent off. There was one foul he did on Xhaka. He should have been sent off, and he was on a yellow card. I'm like, why do you even have to make that challenge? Why would you make that challenge when you're on a yellow card? I may as well start with Romero, to be fair, for talking about the plays. Why would you make that challenge when you're on a yellow card? He was so poor today. Barely did anything right. Overzealous in his pursuit of the ball, taking responsibility and inadvertently putting the team at a disadvantage in terms of our defensive shape, because you just left the gap in the defense to try and chase a lost cause. Passing was mediocre at best today. Barely wanted to use Doherty as an option on the right-hand side. Just running around hacking people, man. Come on. I ain't going to sugarcoat shit, man. He's our best defender. By some way, play like it. In the North London derby, play like it. Simple. Because he didn't play in the 3-0 last season, right? I don't think he didn't play in the, I don't think he played in the 3-1 under Nuno. Yeah. So this season are his first 2 North London derbies. And you started off your North London derby stint terribly. You didn't have a good game in the away fixture, and you were categorically dog shit today. Needs to pattern up, man. Best defender, play like it. Simple. Play like it. But anyway, 29 minutes in, I need to speak on Lloris. I have to speak on Lloris. Yeah. We North deluded in the chat. Big up deluded. North London is red, mind you. Okay, cool, fair. Fair. I can't complain this season. I can't say anything. I can't say anything to that. Sam Burton says, Tobs, these first halves are actually killing me. Yeah, they're horrible. And I actually thought we started all right today. We moved the ball to a decent standard. But then around probably like minute 12 to 15, one mistake from Lloris, and then bang, the game just turned on its head. And Arsenal, as I said, Arsenal put their foot down and actually started playing ball, and the disparity in quality was clear. But I need to talk on Lloris because it is scary how much of a liability Lloris is now. It was only like 7 or 8 months ago I was talking about how good he was in the back end of last season, like how good he was on the whole last season, but he marred his reputation with his usual like 3-4 weeks of just erratic behavior. Wolves, Man City, a few other games last season where he just lost his head completely, right? But he made strides and he came up big for Spurs in the second half of the campaign. He really did. Not even just with his saves and stuff, but his distribution. And I just think, sorry, I had gum in my mouth. I just think that this season, since that 2-1 North London Arsenal game, he's just gone from bad to worse. Like I thought maybe you could recover, but it's sad. It's a sad state of affair. Lloris is absolutely cooked. I can't even begin to explain to you what the hell that was for the first goal. I don't even know what that was. The ball didn't even look like it was struck with any sort of vim from Saka. Like, how have you fumbled like that? Like, how does that end up in a goal? How does that end up as a goal for the opposition? It is scary how much of a hindrance Lloris is to Spurs now. Like, the players are genuinely nervous. They're nervous, bro. They have to give him the ball, but we're nervous. I'm nervous when he gets the ball now. Whenever it goes back to Lloris now, automatically I'm on edge. I'm on edge. He can't seem to do anything right these days. We absolutely have to get a new goalkeeper this summer. The defense, the right wing back, like it's of the utmost importance. And if I'm Lloris, I would call it a day after this season. I can't lie. I would call it a day, certainly in the Premier League, because it's just, he can't do it. He can't play like a modern goalkeeper these days because he's just not as good with the ball at his feet. And the things that he used to excel at, the shot stopping, ball handling, pause, it's just all over the place. And I'm not even blaming him for Odegaard's goal because that was a superb strike. And I think Lloris saved one from Odegaard like maybe 5 or 10 minutes earlier beforehand. Really good save. But he's scarily poor. Like, he absolutely scares me. And almost every single game we play now, he makes a crazy mistake. Some get punished, some don't get punished. But whatever happens, he's making decisions that put us in jeopardy. We're actually pissed. We're pissed. I don't know. I don't see Spurs signing a goalkeeper in January. Fraser Forster is even worse. Based off that one cameo I saw from him against Brentford, he's even worse, and he's at 50. He's even older than Lloris, I think. Mate, we're cooked in the goalkeeping department until the summer. We're cooked. We're cooked. Yeah. Yeah. I would love for Lloris to be dropped as well, like, but one, Conte ain't gonna drop his favorites, and two, Fraser Forster is not good. I thought he was decent backup, but bro, he scared me just as much as Lloris did. When we played Brentford, he scared me. So I don't know what the solution is there. There's me, in my opinion, I don't think there's a solution until the summer. It's like Forster's come to Spurs and his age has just completely taken over. And then Lloris as well, yeah. Lloris as well, even his distribution, like he just gives. I think it might have been for both Odegaard chances. Lloris tries to play a ball to the left-hand side. He plays a ball directly to Arsenal. He doesn't even play a ball that our player can even contest or receive. He plays a ball directly to Arsenal. They pick up the ball and then they work out a shot at our goal. And I think that's what led to the second goal as well. Yeah, Lloris, our players get into position. Lloris has the ball. He kicks the ball. The ball goes to an Arsenal player. It doesn't meet any of our players, right? We're then caught out. Odegaard gets the ball, drives towards our box. There's literally nobody near him because we've got two midfielders marking others. And he's allowed the freedom of the pitch to pick his spot. And he's got a really good left foot. So he's going to work the goalkeeper. And it was a fantastic finish. But again, 2 goals that stem from our goalkeeper. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Like, it's scary the form he's in now. Like, I don't even think it's form anymore. Like, he's just cooked. He's finished. And it's sad to see, man. I said it on the Aston Villa stream. Said it on the Aston Villa stream. I don't even know why I'm laughing. Like, die and be a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. I don't want to look at Lloris's time negatively. So I'm begging and hoping that the club move him on this summer. Yeah. Salvage his reputation. Give him his testimonial. Do whatever, right? Because he deserves all those things. Lloris, don't care what anyone tells me, has been a quality player for Spurs throughout his tenure. Well, for the majority of his tenure, because this current iteration of Lloris is not it. He stinks. Terrible. And I got egg on my face as well because I don't like Ramsdale. I've got an agenda. I'll be real. I've got an agenda. Like, even when I know he's killing it for Arsenal, I won't say it because I hate his guts. And he's completely shown up Lloris today. Like, completely shown up Lloris. Clutch, way more secure in his distribution, way more secure on the ball. People, there's actually, this is nuts. 1,347. Flipping hell. How many people here like pain? If you're going to be here, can you at least smash the like button, please? Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you ain't subscribed to the channel. Finn says, Tobs, I told you after West Ham about this Lloris guy. Bring me Raya. Listen, I'll take Raya. I can't lie. I'll take Raya. Rai says, good evening, Mr. Tobs. Big 6 tomorrow should be good. Boy. Saeed in the chat as well. What did he say? Let's see. Don't ever hype up about Romero again. Listen, I can't speak for Romero right now, but Saeed, we've had this conversation in the past. Speak soon, yeah? I'm trying to see what other comments. Babatunde, big up, my Nigerian brother, man. Arteta clear of Conte tactically. Conte looked lost. How can you be a world-class coach and you can't adapt? You're asking the right questions. Ask Conte, not me, unfortunately. It's a joke. It's a joke. I get that world-class managers, they have their own philosophy that has served them well. So I liken it to Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. 2 managers who have their preferred way of playing, right? But when you can see something's not working, change things. Even the Sessegnon today, I see him getting a lot of pelters. Like, I thought today was one of Sessegnon's better performances, which tells you how poor this guy is. I've said repeatedly on this stream, he's our worst fullback. But I didn't actually think Sess was one of the players that people could go at today. I think that shot from Ramsdale, that was a fantastic save. Fantastic save. I mean, he should be scoring, but fantastic save. What annoys me with Sessegnon today is what he does when he was released both times in the first 15 minutes of the game, where he's got the ball, acres of space to run into, and you're approaching Arsenal's box. Arsenal are setting their shape. You got Spurs players running into the box. Can you find a man? And he doesn't. That is my issue with Sessegnon. He's just not good enough in the final third. But defensively, I thought he was maybe for the first goal against Saka. But yeah, I can't really there's nothing much I can say on Sessegnon. Like, I don't think he stunk today, but again, I don't know why Conte's starting him as a wing back when he clearly is not good enough to play wing back. He's just not good enough. So there's not really much more I can say on him. Like, he should have been gone time ago. He shouldn't be at the club. He's well below the standard. But today, he's not one of the main culprits, should I say. Højbjerg, shocking. Running around like a headless chicken, pointing, do this, do that. Yes, they were handicapped, but I think some of the decisions he took on the ball was scandalous. There was an opportunity in the first half, I remember it, right? We got Kane and Son, and Kulusevski running into the box. He's got the ball maybe like 25 to 30 yards from goal. Just a clip ball into the box, we'll find one of them. And he just goes for a random shot that obviously gets blocked. He was shocking today. And he was bad against Brentford, but got his goal. Really bad against Aston Villa again. as was Basuma, to be fair. Right? Just not good enough. Not good enough. And he's meant to be one of our senior players as well. Like, I respect the talking that he does. Like, he speaks well, carries himself well, and works hard. I can never fault his effort, but bro, we need quality. Put your foot on the ball and actually start playing with it. So poor today, man. Just running around like a headless chicken, man. So bad. Pape Matar is like 5-6 years younger and played way better than he did today. And he's meant to be the one who's been playing under Conte for yonks. Big up Ryan for the super chat. He says, the optimism going into the season after last season's NLD. The optimism going into the season after last season NLD. This result is shocking. Absolutely. Absolutely shocking. GL Block says, Arteta, Conte. On this season, yeah. I can't dispute that. Yeah. I'm going to try and end it soon. Typical me, I've gone over. But there's one more player I want to call out, man. Son. Let's talk about Son, because is this brother cooked? Is this brother cooked? Like, when are you going to come back? When is the real Son going to actually come back? Because I'm sick to death of seeing these performances. I'll be real. Yeah. Harry Kane didn't score today. He's normally Mr. North London Derby. Harry Kane didn't score today, but his performance compared to Son was night and day. Harry Kane was probably one of the few players that could hold their heads up high today, because I think he did his thing up against two very physical defenders. He won headers. He held up the ball. He played some probing passes. He worked Ramsdale both times when he had the slightest of openings. And now you compare that to Son's performance. Sort of one decent bit of play right at the start of the game where he got the ball and played it into, I think it was Kulusevski. I can't even remember. The guy was awful, man. Like, it's one thing to not be at your best, but he's legitimately given us like zeros out of 10. It feels like we're playing with 10 men. His current moment is summed up by one passage of play. I think he had the ball. He tried to run at Ben White and he completely fumbled the ball under his legs. And Ben White was just watching like who's this dickhead, and just took the ball off him and just blasted it away for a throw-in. Ben White's probably thinking, I ain't had an easier game. And granted, Ben White on form has probably been the best right back, arguably, in the league this season, right? But he ain't had an easier game. He won't have an easier game because Son did nothing to make Ben White work in this match. Nothing. His touches were heavy. Yeah. Barely got any shots off at goal. His link-up play non-existent. You're just an empty shell right now. I don't know what's going on. Can the real Son please turn up? Because I'm tired of this guy playing week in, week out. And this goes back to Conte again. You can see that this guy is stinking. He flipping stinks, reeks. You finally got back the guy who you paid 60 million for, and you still can't make the sub that everyone is asking for or everyone can see needs to be made. Even if you don't bring on Richarlison, Son needs to be dropped. There needs to be accountability. You cannot play the way he's playing and keep your spot in the team. If this was any other club, he would have been dropped by now. Ten Hag goes into Man United and drops Ronaldo straight. Sancho, who's on 300 and something bags a week, he says, you're not up to the standard. Let me take you away. You put you to the side. Cool. You take care of yourself because you're at this moment in time, you're not ready to play for the team. You're not. Even Arteta, once he saw that Aubameyang was on the decline, he took him out of the team. The injury excuse can only last for so long because I get it. Richie has been injured a lot. So Spurs have had to bleed Son and Kane. We've had such an over-reliance on Son and Kane this season, last season, the season before, the season before, the season before. I get it, right? But when a man is playing this poorly, why is his position in the team set? Why is he playing 90 minutes? Why? Why? Even if you say injury, cool. Richarlison was fit today. Why did Son last 90 minutes? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Terrible. I cannot believe how bad this guy's playing. He's gone through rough patches before for Spurs, but this form is actually scary. The performances are so bad. Like every single week where I think you can't play as bad as you did last week, he goes and he tops it. It's nuts. I don't know what we're doing with Son right now. I don't know what Son's doing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know for this guy. I do not know for this guy. This is a great comment from Max. He subbed Kulu, but not Son. Makes no sense. And I get it. Kulu just came back from injury. But again, one of the few players that can hold their heads up high today. He makes stuff happen. 1v1, he's beating his man. And he's putting the ball into dangerous areas. Yet he goes off. And Son stays on. Son, loads of people are saying he's finished. I don't want to use that word yet. Because I still think he has to, right? You can't just go out like this. I refuse to accept that he's finished yet. I need if this goes on for the whole year, okay, cool. But it is worrying now. The season started in August 2022. August, September, October, November, December, January. 6 months of this guy playing like a League One player. He played against Portsmouth and was terrible. That's League One opposition. You're meant to be smashing in. You're meant to be smashing in those guys, and you looked so poor. He's fried right now. He's cooked right now. I don't know what's wrong with him. Finito right now. I don't get it. I said I wasn't going to use that word. I don't want to think it. And I don't say that to say Spurs can't move on from Son and Kane. Spurs absolutely need to move on from Son and Kane and buy players that can either play alongside these guys or oust these guys out of the team. Yeah? But we also need a manager who's going to drop him. I don't know for Son, man. I still think he can rediscover some form, but it doesn't matter what he rediscovers. This season for me is capped. Similar to Harry Kane last year. Harry Kane had a great second half of the campaign, but your season has to be capped after the nonsense we saw in the first half of the season. It's the same for Son. You could score 15 goals between now and the end of the season. It's not going to wash away these performances. It's not going to wash away how you've been in this period. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Anyway, yeah, that's it for me, people. Let me just go through some more comments and then I'll end this stream. But again, as I said, folks, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you ain't subscribed already. We play Man City on Thursday. People expect us to go there and get our apparently customary point or 3 points against Man City. Arsenal, it's not happening. It's not happening. They're going to bounce back against Spurs. I can tell you that for free. Let me just read some comments. People are saying I've missed a few super chats. Apologies. Let me just scroll up. So Tezzy Mai says, do you want to beat City next week and help us out? I want to win. I want to win, but we're not going to beat Man City. We're not going to beat Man City. We're going to lose to Man City. But I will at least take solace in the fact that our loss means that they can try and cut the gap to you guys. I've got nothing left, honestly. I've got nothing left. That's where we're at right now. Was 3-1 at the Emirates, not 2-1. Chill out, man. I'm sorry. I said 3-1 initially, and I got confused. I said 2-1. Sorry, I'm mixing up results. But, bro, taking the point I'm making, not the scoreline, chill out. Man said, stop fake score agenda. You know, how can you send the super chat for that? Jesus Christ. Let me just see if I've missed any more super chats. Apologies. Here he is. Here's this little bitch. Form is temporary, class is permanent. Lloris has been a good servant for us, so we need to keep the faith. I hate this guy so much, honestly. Let's see. Partey was great, not just average. Lost the ball a few times, but won it back and played some big passes throughout the game. I agree, he played some big passes. I was talking about the first half. The first half, I didn't think he was that good. Second half showed the levels, but the one thing was constant. Despite some misplaced passes in the first half, was that he was able to make those key passes. But more worryingly, he was able to make those key passes without any sort of pressure from Spurs, which is nuts. One of the best passes in the league and in the world, and he's got minimal pressure when he's on the ball. Let me just go through just to see if I've missed any more super chats. I don't think I have, but yeah. Listen, folks, I'm going to end it here. Second half FC without the goals. What did we expect? Top of the league, you can't go 2-0 down and think you're just going to turn it around in the second half or make a magic substitution. Game was done at halftime, and props to Arsenal for seeing out the game in a professional manner. Like, I gave Arsenal fans a lot of shit for Mudryk yesterday, and that shit is funny as hell. But bro, they didn't let it distract them. They came and they got the job done today. I don't think there can be any arguments about who deserved to win the match. So it is what it is, man. It really is. We are sinking into the abyss, and worryingly, they're looking like they're in a title race. I just got to hope Man City don't let them win this league, because, mate, there are going to be some unbearable people that I will have to speak to regularly. But people, that's it for me. Sorry, I've gone over time. Make sure you smash the like button. As I said, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm not even going to bother doing a Man City preview. What's the point? I'm probably just going to be here for a post-match reaction. Like, there's nothing to analyze. There's nothing to analyze. Just go and look at our Big Six record and then ask yourself whether Man City are really going to lose to Spurs again. Nah, not going to happen. Take care, people. I'm out, man. Peace. Enjoy your Sundays.